His parents were pulling the boy in different directions. His father organized a vacation at the estate, and his mother booked a hotel in the Alps at the same time. For Prince Charles and Princess Diana, their children have become pawns in their fight. Penny Junor, the author of William's biography, believes that he lacked warmth from childhood. And sometimes I felt a burning sense of shame for my own mother. He had barely stepped over the threshold of Eden when headlines appeared in the papers. Princess Diana meets the captain of England's rugby team. The prince had met a guy named Will Carling before, but now the rugby player was being discussed everywhere, even at William's school. I had to pretend not to notice the curious glances of my classmates and secret giggles. Meanwhile, it was announced that the Princess of Wales would be giving an interview for the BBC. "It seems to me, madam," said one of the school officials addressing Diana, "that you need to explain to your son what is going on. He seems very concerned." "Do you really think that is necessary?" Diana was surprised. Later, Andrew Galley said that the princess had refused to attend school due to various reasons. Then he called her again and requested her to attend again. Only after that did Diana get in the car. The meeting lasted no more than 5 minutes, during which the princess reassured William that there was nothing offensive about her interview. And then the storm broke. The interview was broadcast on November 20th, 1995, and England was glued to the television screens. Diana revealed everything about her eating disorder, the red-headed James Hewitt, and of course her husband's affair. Not with her, of course. This speech was clearly directed at Charles. Diana wanted to punish him for the suffering she had endured because of him. At least, that's how it seemed to her. However, the story also affected the children. William, who was older, was horrified by the interview. He watched the entire program at school. According to Andrew Galley, he was upset and angry after that. His parents loved him and hoped that the child would help strengthen their marriage, which had begun to deteriorate from the very beginning. Before the wedding, no one, including Charles, noticed any difficulties in Diana's behavior. She seemed perfect to everyone. A sweet and gentle girl from a good family who knew how to win people over at first glance. However, during the honeymoon, it became clear that there was more to her than met the eye. Diana's behavior was dishonest, and it was difficult to deal with her, said the princess grandmother, Lady Fermoy. She admitted that she made a mistake. She should have told the royal family immediately that this was not the right girl for them. Short temper, resentment, and sudden mood swings are all characteristic of the Spencers. Diana's father, Johnny, was considered the most charming man in the world and knew how to charm at first sight, but his wife, Frances, described living with him as a life of constant violence. Johnny was a man with two sides, and Frances left him when she met her true love. Diana's paternal grandmother, the Countess Cynthia, also complained about mistreatment from her husband, and the Spencer family's reputation was not great. The divorce of Diana's parents was painful for her. She was a little girl at the time, and there were no pictures of a happy family in front of her. When her stepmother, Rain, appeared, Diana saw her as an enemy and was rebellious, refusing to obey and not coming down for dinner. This resentment multiplied with pain, not the best luggage for a young princess. All these events were reflected in Diana's marriage. In this atmosphere, the prince began to cause scandals, for which he didn't always apologize. However, he did everything that Diana asked him to do. He fired employees who were loyal to him and gave away his dog, which Diana couldn't tolerate. She stopped seeing her friends and didn't seem happy. Diana loved her sons, William and Harry, but sometimes she didn't want to share their time with anyone else. She insisted on getting rid of Barbara Barnes, their favorite nanny, who had become a close friend to William. At first, Diana tried to control Barbara, giving her constant instructions. Sometimes she was desperate, as the boys were prohibited from doing something, but Diana would appear and the whole process would collapse. For the boys, she was more like an older sister than a mother. This is likely how one can explain her behavior, explained Junor. If loved ones behave inconsistently, children may begin to act out and cry. Barbara has witnessed William's tantrums on more than one occasion and carefully calmed them down. When Diana asked to be separated from her son, he became depressed. A quarter of a century later, William invited Barbara Barnes to his wedding to Kate Middleton as a guest of honor. William's early childhood behavior made his family concerned. Even the Queen once demanded something be done about it. At Andrew's wedding, where he was a page at honor, William grimaced, groaned, yawned, fidgeted, and even stuck his tongue out at his cousin Laura Fellows. Diana considered these events to be normal. She has repeatedly emphasized that she wanted to give her children an ordinary childhood. However, when Diana's relationship with her husband became more difficult, she chose to punish Charles through the children. In 1991, Charles organized a large party at Highgrove, which the boys were expected to attend, but Diana booked a hotel in Austria to go skiing on the same dates. There were other similar situations later. Elizabeth Ely had to step in once. She said that if Diana was unable to attend the family gathering at Sandringham, she should leave the boys there. This was a real ultimatum. The media reported on the prince's lack of interest in his wife and also talked about Diana's relationships. They discussed the details and attracted commentators' attention. How did the two princes feel in this atmosphere? They have lacked warmth since childhood, said William's biographer.